In our fast-paced world, the ability to learn quickly is a valuable skill. Whether you're a student aiming to ace your exams, a professional looking to gain new competencies, or simply someone with a passion for self-improvement, mastering the art of rapid learning can open numerous doors. Traditional learning methods often fall short in terms of efficiency, leaving many people overwhelmed and frustrated. Fortunately, cognitive science offers a range of techniques that can help you optimize your learning process. By incorporating these strategies into your routine, you can enhance your ability to grasp new concepts, retain information, and apply your knowledge effectively. Here are 7 scientifically backed tricks to help you learn anything faster and more efficiently. Use active learning techniques. Active learning involves engaging directly with the material you're trying to learn, rather than passively consuming information. This hands-on approach stimulates deeper cognitive processing, leading to better understanding and retention. For instance, taking notes by hand can significantly improve memory and comprehension. When you write notes by hand, you are forced to process the information and summarize key points in your own words, which helps internalize the material more effectively compared to typing or just reading. Additionally, actively asking questions while learning prompts deeper thinking and clarifies any doubts. Questions such as, "Why does this work?" or "How does this relate to what I already know?" encourage you to explore the material more thoroughly and make connections with prior knowledge. Discussing the material with peers can also be beneficial, as it allows you to see different perspectives and deepen your understanding through conversation. Teaching the content to someone else is another powerful active learning strategy. When you teach, you must organize your thoughts clearly and explain the material in simple terms, which reinforces your own understanding and highlights any gaps in your knowledge. This technique, often referred to as the prod effect, can be especially effective for mastering complex subjects. Overall, incorporating active learning techniques into your study routine can transform passive information intake into an interactive, engaging process that enhances comprehension and break down the material. Breaking down the material into smaller, manageable chunks. A technique known as chunking makes complex information easier to process and remember. The human brain can only handle a limited amount of information at once. So organizing content into bite-sized pieces reduces cognitive overload and allows for more effective learning. Chunking works by grouping related information together, creating a coherent structure that is easier for the brain to understand and retain. For example, when learning a new language, instead of trying to memorize a long list of vocabulary words all at once, you can group them into categories such as colors, foods, or common phrases. By focusing on one category at a time, you can more easily remember the words and understand how they relate to each other. Similarly, when studying for an exam, breaking down the syllabus into smaller sections or topics and tackling them one by one can make the overall task feel less daunting and more achievable. Chunking is also beneficial for understanding complex concepts in subjects like mathematics or science. For instance, in mathematics, breaking down a complicated problem into smaller steps can help you understand the process and solve the problem more efficiently. In science, you can break down a complex theory into its fundamental principles, studying each principle individually before integrating them to understand the entire theory. Additionally, creating outlines, mind maps, or flashcards can be helpful tools for breaking down and organizing information. Outlines provide a hierarchical structure that shows the relationships between main ideas and supporting details, making it easier to see the big picture. Mind maps visually represent the connections between concepts, which can enhance understanding and recall. Flashcards allow you to focus on one piece of information at a time and are particularly effective for spaced repetition. Overall, chunking and breaking down material into smaller, manageable pieces can improve your ability to understand, process, and remember complex information, making your learning more efficient and effective. Use mnemonics and memory aids. Mnemonics and memory aids are powerful tools that can help you remember information more easily. They work by associating new information with familiar patterns, concepts, or images, leveraging the brain's natural ability to recognize and recall these connections. Mnemonics transform difficult-to-remember data into a format that is simpler and more engaging, enhancing recall and retention. One common type of mnemonic is an acronym, which uses the first letters of a series of words to create a new, easily remembered word. For example, the acronym HOMES is used to remember the Great Lakes, Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, and Superior. Another effective mnemonic technique is the use of rhymes or songs. This method leverages the brain's affinity for rhythmic and melodic patterns, making information easier to recall. Visual imagery is another powerful mnemonic strategy. By creating vivid mental images associated with the information you need to remember, you can enhance recall. For example, to remember the word cat, you might visualize a cat sitting on a mat. The more detailed and unusual the image, the more likely you are to remember it. This technique is especially useful for memorizing complex concepts or lists of items. Chunking can also be considered a form of mnemonic. It involves breaking down large pieces of information into smaller, more manageable units, or chunks. For instance, remembering a 10-digit phone number is easier when you divide it into chunks, rather than trying to remember it as a single string of digits. Creating personalized mnemonics tailored to your own experiences and associations can make them even more effective. The more personal and meaningful the mnemonic, the stronger the memory connection will be. Practice spaced repetition. Spaced repetition is a highly effective learning technique that involves reviewing material at gradually increasing intervals over time. This method is based on the psychological spacing effect, which posits that information is better retained when exposure is spread out rather than concentrated in a single session. By strategically timing review sessions, spaced repetition helps transfer information from short-term memory to long-term memory, significantly enhancing retention and recall. The technique works by counteracting the forgetting curve, a concept introduced by psychologist Hermann Ebbinghaus, which illustrates how quickly we forget information if it is not reinforced. To implement spaced repetition, you start with an initial intensive study session to learn the material thoroughly. Soon after, typically within 24 hours, you review the material to consolidate your understanding and prevent rapid forgetting. Subsequent reviews are then scheduled at progressively longer intervals, such as after 3 days, a week, 2 weeks, and so on. This approach leverages tools like flashcards, either physical or digital, with apps such as Anki and Quizlet, which are designed to automate spaced repetition. These apps use algorithms to determine the optimal times for review based on your performance, ensuring that you review each piece of information just before you're likely to forget it. Alternatively, you can manually schedule your review sessions using a calendar, marking dates for each review based on the increasing intervals. Spaced repetition offers numerous benefits, including improved long-term retention. efficient use of study time, and enhanced understanding of the material. By focusing review efforts on information that needs reinforcement, you can achieve better retention with less overall study time. Revisiting material multiple times over an extended period also allows for a deeper understanding, as it provides more opportunities to connect new information with existing knowledge and view the material from different perspectives. For example, if you are learning a new language, you might begin by studying a list of vocabulary words intensively. Review them the next day, then again after 3 days, a week, and so on, embedding the words firmly in your long-term memory. Apply the Feynman technique. The Feynman technique is a robust strategy for mastering complex concepts by simplifying them and teaching them to others. Named after physicist Richard Feynman, renowned for his ability to explain intricate ideas in accessible terms. This technique is rooted in the principle that true understanding comes from being able to articulate a concept clearly and simply. To apply the Feynman technique, begin by selecting the concept you wish to learn or clarify. Next, explain it as if teaching it to a child who has no prior knowledge of the subject. Use plain language and avoid technical jargon to ensure clarity. As you explain, pay attention to areas where your explanation falters or lacks coherence. These points indicate gaps in your understanding. Return to the source material to fill in these gaps and simplify your explanation further. Repeat this process until you can explain the concept effortlessly and succinctly. By teaching the concept in simple terms and refining your explanation iteratively, you deepen your understanding and ensure comprehensive mastery of the material. Stay physically active. Staying physically active plays a crucial role in enhancing learning efficiency and cognitive function. Engaging in regular exercise not only benefits your physical health, but also positively impacts your brain's ability to process information and retain knowledge. Physical activity increases blood flow to the brain, delivering essential oxygen and nutrients that support cognitive performance, including memory, attention, and problem-solving skills. It stimulates the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein that promotes neuroplasticity, allowing the brain to adapt and form new neural connections, crucial for learning. Exercise also reduces stress levels by triggering the release of endorphins, improving mood, and enhancing focus. Taking short breaks for physical activity during study sessions can refresh the mind, prevent burnout, and improve overall productivity. Over the long term, maintaining a physically active lifestyle contributes to better brain health and reduces the risk of cognitive decline as you age. Incorporating exercise into your daily routine can significantly optimize your learning experience. By supporting mental clarity, resilience, and sustained concentration. Get enough sleep. Sufficient sleep is indispensable for optimal learning and cognitive function. Sleep plays a vital role in memory consolidation, a process where the brain strengthens and integrates new memories acquired during waking hours. During deep sleep stages, such as slow-wave sleep and REM sleep, the brain processes and stores information, transferring it from short-term memory to long-term memory. This consolidation process enhances the retention and recall of learned material, making it easier to retrieve information when needed. Beyond memory, adequate sleep supports overall cognitive performance. It boosts attention, concentration, and problem-solving abilities while preventing cognitive lapses and errors that can arise from sleep deprivation. By ensuring sufficient rest, individuals experience improved alertness and mental clarity, enabling more effective learning and information processing. Moreover, sleep fosters creativity and insight by allowing the brain to reorganize information and make novel connections. Creative problem-solving and innovative thinking often emerge after periods of restful sleep, highlighting the role of sleep in enhancing cognitive flexibility and originality. Furthermore, sleep contributes to emotional regulation and resilience. It stabilizes mood and reduces stress levels, promoting a positive mental state conducive to learning and productivity. In contrast, sleep deficiency can lead to irritability, mood swings, and heightened emotional reactivity, hindering cognitive function and interpersonal interactions. Overall, prioritizing adequate sleep is essential not only for learning efficiency, but also for maintaining overall cognitive health and well-being. Integrating these 7 strategies into your learning routine can greatly enhance your ability to absorb, retain, and apply new information. By using active learning techniques, breaking down material, employing mnemonics, practicing spaced repetition, applying the Feynman technique, staying physically active, and ensuring adequate sleep, you can optimize your learning process and achieve your educational and personal development goals more efficiently.